the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that? It is Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie. Welcome to the podcast. Tell you what, the old fun police have got themselves a few new members in Sydney at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what? You need to, and I know the weather hasn't been the best. It's been grey. We've been copping a bit of rain. But if you want to get people out of their houses, you've got to put on more events.
Yeah.
Clover Moore and the Sydney councillors.
Trying to shut down festivals.
Give me a break.
Yeah, I was about to launch a brand new festival too, Fitz, for hairy men.
Well, if it's raining, put on a Speedos convention or something and we can get out and go for a swim.
I mean, let's not overthink this, guys. And if the grass gets ruined and we have a little bit of mud, do you know what? That's life. And we've lived with it in the past and we can live with it again. Clover Moore, do not shut down our festivals. Noodle night markets, Ryan James. I move in there for the month.
Well, I went to the night doodle market.
How
which
was that?
That got a bit out of control.
How many did you buy? My God, you got one for every day of the week.
It's in the podcast.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Today is the 30-year anniversary of Bill O'Reilly's meltdown on Inside Edition, a television show over in the States. So it was May 15, 1990. Funny enough, we're about to play it for you, but funny enough, it didn't get released, Whip, until May 12th, 2008.
Okay, so just to paint a picture, Bill O'Reilly. Who's Bill O'Reilly? He was like a political commentator, was he?
Yeah, he was.
Sort of US TV.
Sort of like on a Fox News over there. Very outspoken. Very short-tempered, mate.
Okay.
Lack of patience. Very similar to Alan Jones here. Do you remember when Alan had to do a live read? And there was dust in there. Have a listen. This was Alan. Alan got very, very angry with people around him.
Oh, there's dust in here. You know, if it was bloody John Laws or someone, the whole joint would be cleaned out. How does this happen?
So this is where you're treading
here.
If you're working on Alan's team, you're treading on eggshells.
And dust, apparently.
You're worried that he's going to blow up at you. Bill O'Reilly was exactly the same. There was a woman that worked with Bill O'Reilly. Her name was Teresa McKeon, and she said he was definitely hot-tempered, very impatient. I never wanted to give him a reason to yell at me. She remembers that Bill O'Reilly, this was some of the stuff that he used to do. He rocked up to the LA riots in a limousine whip. And then he got annoyed with people in the community when they were in his eye line when he was trying to do a cross from the LA riots.
Wow.
She said he had such a lack of compassion. She said he got upset with me once because there was a bee flying around his head.
Okay.
This is the type of stuff. So this is famous. This got leaked in 2008, but this was at the end of the show, and he had to pre-record something at the end of the show, and he just his patience just wore very, very thin. Here it is.
It's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but now I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do, it's a video, Sting video.
What is...
For credits.
I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. F***ing thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
So that's where the audio stopped, but then you see visually him taking off his jacket, throwing a pen at someone in the team, and him just absolutely losing it.
Is that where that line from Anchorman comes from?
Yes, we'll do it live.
We're doing it live! live.
We'll do it live.
30 years of Bill.
30 years today. Well done.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
A ban on large events in public parks in central Sydney has been extended indefinitely due to climate change and in an effort to protect grass from damage. Now, I am so sorry to start the show like this, but it's so disappointing, and to the point where I've got to say this, but this is where I think Melbourne is going past Sydney. This is disgusting.
Well,
and Clover Moore's behind this, and the City of Sydney councillors, because we've got to open Sydney up, and the weather has been bad. I understand that. But, oh, my God, we need to get people out and we need to have these events because the fun police are just taking over.
well, there's a bit of a battle going on. Page 7 of the paper, Fitz. Minns versus Clover Moore. So she came out and said, right, and we love this. The night noodle market had caused, she said it caused $250,000 of damage to the Prince Alfred Park.
That was in 2022,
Yeah, and
right?
earlier, 206,000 damage to Hyde Park. And it took months to repair, Ryan.
Oh,
She
my
said,
God,
you're
but-
telling me about these open spaces, but people can't use them if the grass has been ruined.
The grass is going to come back. It'll come back. And I know the last couple of years we have had a fair bit of rain, but they will go away at some stage. But you can't, we can't stay inside the whole time.
No, we can't. A couple of options there. I mean, I've seen it done before, Ryan James, and you'll see it in the football. Dig up the surface, get rid of the mud, and fill it full of sand. Then you're not going to have mud piles, and it recovers very easily. So do that with your money, and then the markets can play on. Redo your surfaces, Clover.
Well, this is the thing, Allianz Stadium. These major ovals, when you have huge events in there, obviously the grass is going to be affected for a while, but it comes back.
Come on.
You know what? I mean, Clover Moore she's been around for a long time.
Are you saying that Clover should maybe shut the clove and leave?
Well, I just don't. We need to revitalise Sydney a little bit more, you know. And I understand with the coward punch and the lockout laws.
Yeah.
Geez, that set us back so far. Look, by a mile, we have the most amazing state for the view, for everything, but we need to embrace it more. And this is where Melbourne does it a lot better than Sydney, because you know what, their weather down there is worse than ours. It's freezing cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? People still go out and they still enjoy it.
I mean, I'm thinking if Clover Moore's concerned about the grass and the mud, maybe you run your noodle night market. All the grass gets churned up, and the following month, it's like a mud wrestling competition. So you make the best of what you've got there, Clover.
Gotcha.
Where maybe you and Fitzy you and Minns can battle it out. You got your budgie smugglers on, and you just wrestle in the mud while having some noodles and a dumpling on the side if there's any left.
Yeah, I like it.
You know what I'm thinking, Ryan? I'm thinking this is a brainstorm.
Yeah. It's not bad.
You want to lock that in?
It's not bad. And the night... God, you can't... How good are the night noodle markets? And you know what? What would you rather? Would you rather those magnificent noodles and the grass is stuff for a couple of months? Bring it back, please, Clover. You've got to change this.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast. Chrissy's clickbait.
You know, it's Fashion Week.
Yeah. My wife's been to a few runway shows.
And sorry if I'm a bit under the weather this morning because it was a long day yesterday, that's for sure.
Oh, you're at the Tarot Cash
yes,
catwalk,
and which was a little bit silly when I rocked up in my YD suit.
Okay, got to get that right.
What does YD stand for again?
Yucky Designs.
Youth detention.
Oh, get off.
I don't know.
Youth detention. I've got to ask, when you go and when your good lady wife Lisa goes,
Yeah, I've been to Fash.
do you get selected for the FROW, F-R-O-W, which is short for front row? FROW.
I think she may on occasion.
Did Lisa get front row?
In the front row.
They must have been struggling this year.
She loves her fashion. Couldn't get people from Married at First Sight there, I think, Fitz. Loves her fashion, man. Loves designers.
Any TikTok stars, Swanee, on the fro?
Well, this is the thing. apparently, if you don't get fro,
It's time
get
to go.
very cranky. And there's a lot of photographs of people in the second row.
Yeah,
I just
right.
made that up. With faces like slapped bums, you know?
no.
Like, I don't even want to be here now because I'm not in the fro.
Do you remember remember Subi, the brand Subi?
Yes.
Dan Hill and those guys. Remember the year that they brought out the rats? They brought out.
No.
They bought a heap of rats. That the rats ran out with the models on the catwalk, but unfortunately, a couple of the rats, I think, got squashed.
What did they? And then found their way into a Chanel handbag.
Got into a fair bit of trouble. I think there was a couple of high heels that maybe it may have gone through a rat.
Oh my God.
That would be my idea of hell.
Do you know-
I hate a little crawling furry thing.
There was an article today, even in the paper, I think it was today, about Dan, that guy from Subi Fitz, and the way he fell out of a Paris balcony or a window 4 stories up. Remember, he had that terrible accident. He died for 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah, and it was a chance for him to reevaluate everything after they rebuilt his entire body.
Is it
And
hard
when he
to
finally came to, he's like, this is all because of the rats.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done the rat gear.
10 minutes isn't much. I mean, you die 3 hours every morning.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. 6 to 9
Apparently
daily.
the fro is reserved for, and I quote, premium magazine editors, celebrities, A-list influencers and VIP buyers. But then it goes on to say that the fro guests this year include Jackie, Adrian, Karina, Jamie and Tony from Married at First Sight. Now,
Hang on a minute.
I may have amnesia, but I don't know any of those people.
I mean, if I'm in the throw and I see those guys in the fro,
Yeah.
it's time to go. Absolutely. I'm furious.
It's time to go fro.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have to stoop that low to even think? I mean, I cross my fingers every year hoping to get into the fro, but unfortunately, no invite comes
hang on.
my way.
Stop everything. Ryan James, you and I attended a David Jones fashion launch and we sat fro.
Did we?
Yeah,
Wait,
Daniel
is that
Johns was playing.
Is that the one where Gigi Hadid was there?
Yeah, Gigi Hadid. And we sat there, fro, looking really good. We looked so
right.
sharp.
Well, Swanee, we saw Gigi Hadid and we were about to get into the lift together and then her security guard goes, no. You guys have... We weren't allowed to get in the lift with her.
Next lift, you two.
He basically said, Gigi, no, you didn't.
Mm-hmm. And that was it. Generous laugh, Swanee. What else is in clickbait?
Let's move on to Megan Trainor. We've spoken about her earlier in Last Man Danding.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it?
I'm Dill Danding.
I'm Dill Danding.
Yeah.
I'm Dill Danding because there was a question about how many kids she's got. She's got 2. I'm going to finish this segment with a little tidbit that I will never forget about Megan Trainor. But she, her body is looking a little bit different at the moment. She's touring. And in honour of her changed physicality, she has changed the lyrics of her fabulous song, All About That Bass. Put your listening ears on. So, the original line is, I think it's pretty clear I'm not a size 2. She changed it to, I think it's pretty clear I got some new boobs.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't rhyme.
I love her. I absolutely love Megan Trainor. And
she's
I just
amazing.
think it's so anybody that has, like, you know, gets their boobs done or whatever, facelift, I just think they're so brave because I'm such a sook.
No, if you don't like it, change it.
Right.
Swanee, do you know her toilet situation
If
at
there's
home?
a changing of a dressing, I'm out. And Whipper, interesting you mentioned her toilet situation because that is exactly the fact about Megan Trainor that lives in my head rent-free and will do so forever. She has 2 toilets open plan in the one room so her and her lovely husband can take a dump together. Because you know what they say.
Those who
Couple
dump
that
together.
poos together stays together.
What does her brother Personal think of that?
Personal trainer.
Oh my gosh.
All right. And you thought I was dying every day for
Coming
3 hours.
up on tomorrow's show, Fitzy and Whipper have a poo together.
Could you imagine? Roll in a couple of Portaloos, take the doors off, and let's keep it friendly.
No, I reckon this would be way worse for Fitz than it would be for you, Whipper. Just saying.
My God.
It's no vibe.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Bang, we're on. All right. It's time for 60-second starts. I'm still standing. Now.
Eljana, home of legendary charcoal chicken. Now across 40 stores and counting.
Jess is in Cronulla. Good morning, Jess.
Good morning, boys. How are we?
Good, Jess.
Is it Jessie or Jess?
Jess or Jessie, doesn't matter either way.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll win enough money to buy another share in a racehorse. Who knows?
Fingers crossed, Jess. It's where all the money's made, buddy. You can't go wrong.
There we go.
What's the water temperature down at Cronulla at the moment, Jess?
It's beautiful, nice and raining at the moment. So, look, temperature, not sure.
God's country, though, Jess. God's country.
That's it, God country, yeah.
You're up against a beautiful lady by the name of Christine Swan. Jessie,
Hello, Jessie.
If you get one wrong, the power goes over to her. Whoever has the power at the end of 60 seconds gets the $100. Okay, Jess, come on, you can do this, buddy. Here we go. Your 60 seconds starts now. Who is the new leader of the Liberal Party, Jess?
A female, not sure, pass.
Susan Lee over to Chrissy. Chrissy, what animal shares its name with a deodorant?
Oh, God.
Too long, Swanee.
Too long. It's linked.
I don't know.
Back to Jess. Name an NRL team confirmed for Las Vegas opening round next
The Dragons. Here we go.
Correct. Did Usher debut in the 80s or the 90s, Jess?
Oh, he's old, 80s.
Nah, he's 90s. Let's go over to Chrissy. Dami Im was discovered on what TV show, Chrissy?
Australian Idol?
Nah, it was X Factor. Back to Jess. How many kids does Megan Trainor have, Jess?
Oh,
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue on that, but we'll go 3.
No, it's 2. Chrissy, Tingly Ted's is a range of hot sauces from which singer? 1.
No idea.
2. It's Ed Sheeran. Back to Jess. 101 Dalmatians is set in what major city?
Jess has got it. London was the answer, but Jessie has got it. Cronulla smiles.
There we go.
That was tough today, Ollie.
That was great.
Producer
very
Ollie, that was a really good round today because they were tough. But you have, like Stephen Bradbury, you've gone over the line first, Jessie, and won yourself $100.
You have, Jessie, and when your friends say to you, who are you up against today? Say, oh, I don't know, a woman.
It's just a woman. Swanee.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
We're joined by the magnificent Chrissy Swan. Swanee, yesterday on the show we were talking about the new Liberal leader, Sussan Lee, and we were asking people about unnecessary letters that they have in their name with the extra S that Sussan has.
It was a huge debate on the show, Swanee.
I mean, it's an amazing effort. She's the first female leader in the Liberal Party for 81 years, Swanee. That's not a bad effort. It's massive.
It's really great, and she is obviously an incredible and powerful woman. And I beg forgiveness for every time since she's been in this top job. Every time somebody mentions her name, this is the song that comes to my mind.
Well, that was heavily discussed yesterday, Swanee, because we were talking about that jingle. Brand Man coming up later on.
This and this goes with this and that goes with that at Sussan. It's spelt the same.
Well, there was a debate on whether Sussan and Suzanne were the same name, and I said yes, they were. They're like Sandy or Sandy. What are your thoughts? Is Sussan the same as Suzanne?
Well, no, because they sound completely different.
Yeah, but I would have thought that's just the way people pronounce it.
Well, yes, she would get sick of correcting it. When she added that letter in herself, she didn't think about that, did she?
No, didn't think about
it. That she have to go, no, it's not. It's
not Suzanne. It's Sussan.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why she's added the extra S that we did not know.
Fitz, tell me.
We had no idea about yesterday. Have a listen to this.
Next is Sussan Lee, the first female leader of the Liberal Party. That's Susan with 3 S's, not 2. But you won't find all those S's on her birth certificate. Lee deliberately added the extra S to her name in her teens, saying she was inspired by numerology. So this was the theory she was going by. If you change your name so that the letters and corresponding numbers match, you can change your personality and life trajectory. And look at Sussan Lee now, first woman in Australian history to lead the Liberal Party. Maybe those numerical charts were onto something.
Explain, Fitz. Does every letter equal a number?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I think 3. I think 3 is a
S's.
good number in numerology.
Sure. Because I remember sitting down with a lady one time, a palm reader, and she said, "Oh, your birth date's very powerful." And I said, "Why is that?" And she said, "Well, it's the 29th of the 9th, 1979. So they're all 9s, and the 2 numbers that aren't add up to 9.
Oh, wow.
The 2 and the 7. And I went, I had no idea about this stuff.
Well, does this work? I think it does, because I've just got confirmation that someone's changed their name. Congratulations to Angus Taylor.
Really? How many has he put in, Fitz?
No.
And
Nine.
Are we changing all the posters to Fitzy? Fitzy.
And Swan is now the
Well,
longest.
there's only 2 S's in my name, hence my dull and boring existence.
God, I didn't get 1 S. I'm gone. I'm done for. This is hopeless. Forget about it.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Tomorrow night, big one, SCG. Ooh, Swannies versus Carlton. This is going to be chockers tomorrow night. And there's nothing better than a full SCG when the Swannies are playing. You can grab your tickets at afl.com.au, but this man will be starting in the middle. He is massive. It's the magnificent Brodie Grundy.
Broads, how are you, mate?
Good morning, team. It's great to be on.
Haven't you got a Hawthorn? No.
We got the double blues.
Do you?
It's cold,
Vegas.
mate.
Oh, I thought you were playing Hawthorn. Why did I think that?
Fitz just said.
Yeah, no, but I'm looking at, aren't we on round 10? Oh, that's the Suns. Sorry, mate.
Well, thanks for joining us, Brodie.
Sorry, Brodie.
We're on air.
Oh, we are on air. We are on air.
Is this a warm-up? No, mate.
There's one thing I do know, Broads, that yesterday you knocked it out of the park at Fashion Week. Wow.
Mate, it was good. It was my debut at Fashion Week.
Yeah, you enjoyed it?
Yeah, down at Courage Works. It was lovely.
Because, Swanee, we were just talking about front
what
rows.
row were you in? What row were you in, Brodie? Did you get the fro? Front row?
I was relegated to row 2.
Oh, how was that?
It was
So
humbling.
you understand that means that you're less of a person than Woozy Watsits from Married at First Sight. You understand that, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. No, it was a great show. We had fitted out by Farage and went down there, and yeah, it was fantastic.
Who was around you? What anyone that you recognised around you, Broads? Who were the big players?
Well, there was one big player in particular. His name was John Longmire, obviously.
Oh, was he at Fashion Week?
Our ex head coach last year, and I didn't know John was across the fashion scene, but he graced he graced it.
Why was he there? Is it because he's out of the game now? He's got a bit of time up his sleeve and just got an invite, or why was Horse there?
Well, something about John is he just loves high performers, so he's looking at
high performance models
across all the different industries.
Seems so unusual. What did Kevin Sheedy? Couldn't he make it? So John took his ticket.
Broads, can you tell me too? Any other footballers there?
No.
There was some Swans players, but
okay.
Yeah.
Have you done any modelling in the past?
Oh wow, I'm flattered.
You have,
really.
haven't you?
Mate,
have you done any modelling?
No, I haven't. I did do a catwalk when I was probably 16, though.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Who was that for?
That was just for like my mum's hair salon.
Right.
Brodie, that is a magnificent beard. Can I talk about it for a second? When did you make that decision?
Well, yeah, it's been a while since I've been in, so I've grown a beard and turned grey over the summer.
Thick, like
it is
there
thick.
to stay.
Do you use oil, Broads? Do you have beard oil?
Mate, you know what?
You do, don't you?
I have tampered with some beard oil. and it's actually amazing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sandalwood.
So
Is it
when you're
different
getting
from like the oil from a kebab that you just sort of rub into it? Or?
It's probably not materially that different at all, Chrissy,
Right.
to be honest.
Do you know what you've been doing too, I've noticed on the field, Fitz? Broads has been going the bun, but with, at the back, got the bun, but with the hair coming down as well. So half up, half down, which I think looks really good on you.
And talking about, Fashion Week, David Beckham inspired hair
Yes.
and that's come straight
I feel
out,
like if your
straight out of
entire
Bex.
look, if your entire look just had to have one word, it would be hair.
Yeah, or Jesus. I mean, have we done enough body image work on Broads so far?
So good.
That's a good call out.
Hey, Broads, congratulations. Last week, it's been a long time coming. I think it was midway through last year. You hadn't kicked a goal for a while. I was getting a bit nervous, but you booted one last week, and the boys got around you, which would have been a good feeling for you, Broads.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if they got around me because we were
struggling with the Dons.
Yeah, we were struggling. We were down by 30 points. There wasn't much to celebrate.
Get around him.
But no, it was good to hit the scoreboard, and hopefully the Swannies are back. We've got a big game this week against the Blues.
Yeah.
So it's nice to,
How's Dean Cox?
Coxie, he's being tested a little bit at the moment, as we all are, but we're really confident we can.
I love him.
Turn our season around.
Do you know what? Ryan's given us a call from Balmain. You a diehard Swannies fan, Ryan?
Oh, yeah. Cut me in half and I bleed red and white.
Wow. Oh, well, there you go. Hey, what's your favourite Swannies moment of all time being a Swans fan, Ryan?
Oh, look, of all time, it was probably the 2012 Grand Final. But I tell you what, qualifying final GWS last year, we just managed to sneak into that one. That was pretty intense.
I was at that game. The comeback was to see it slowly start to happen, Ryan, wasn't it an unbelievable experience?
It was ridiculous. And we were in the nosebleeds. My wife and I managed to get probably the last 2 seats out of the last 10. It was an incredible game. And it had the same atmosphere as the 2012 Grand Final at the end there. It was really, really something.
Ryan, does your memory go back as far as when Plugger had hung up the boots and the Swans fans were nervous about who would be up forward, and in comes Ryan James kicking 5 on debut? Do you remember that moment, Ryan?
No, I don't know that guy.
No. He talks about it a lot.
Do you know what? There's a photo.
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
I found a photo the other day, Broads. When Plugger kicked the record, we went back to a bar in Sydney called the Iguana Bar, which is shut down now. Because the bloke who owned it was probably handing out some illegal stuff that he wasn't supposed to.
He was an absolute reptile.
But we went back there and we never really saw Plugger. Plugger never really partied or celebrated. He was at that stage of his career, but because he broke the record, we all went back there. And there's a photo of me, and I'm licking Plugger's ear. And I remember Swanee. And Swanee, on the night, I remember, because someone said, can we just get a quick shot? And I went to lick his ear, and I licked his ear, and he turned to me and looked at me. And I have never, oh my gosh, I've never been more nervous in my life. Because he was a man mountain. Like, he could have absolutely annihilated me, Plugger. And that was it. That was the last time I ever spoke to him and ever saw him.
Well, Fitzy, that might be a nice icebreaker for me, because we've got to do a past bloods sort of history lesson. And obviously he was a number 4. I'm a number 4. So I'm actually due to give Plugger a call in the upcoming months.
Lick his ear. He loves it.
I'll ask him about that.
Lick his ear, he likes it.
Can I give you one more Plugger story? It's so basic, but you know how serious team meetings get, Broads. When the coach is talking, everyone has to be eyes locked on the coach. No one interrupts. Obviously, there's no phones in there or anything. Plugger was notorious for. He could drop his guts in a meeting and just have everyone in hysterics. But he was the only player that could get away with it, Swanee. It was unbelievable.
And he's got the constitution of, like, you know, an emotionless hitman. So he would just drop that and keep completely
and everyone
straight
thought
face.
it was so funny.
Hey, can I ask, Broads, any celebrities wandered down to the rooms recently? I mean, last year you had Sydney Sweeney. I mean, Fitzy tells a story about Tom Cruise arriving in the rooms one year.
Tom Cruise, wow.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman was an ambassador, and she was with Tom Cruise at the time. And he was down in the rooms, Broads. I nearly stepped on him. I didn't know how small he was. He's tiny. But have you had anyone recently? You've got some great ambassadors.
We've had Tony Armstrong come down, who's obviously a past player and doing some great work. Tony Armstrong. We had a couple of musicians over the last few months. But, the cold hard facts is we need a lift.
Sabrina Carpenter, that's pretty good, bro. Wow, I
Hey,
had no idea.
Is Ryan still there from Balmain? You there, Ryan?
No, he's gone.
Oh,
he's taken his tickets and run.
I was going to say, because, Broads, you've come in with a family pass. Ryan, are you there? We might give you a family pass for you and the fam to go to the Carlton game tomorrow night.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Got you right. You got tickets, buddy. All yours. 4 of them.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Good on you, legend.
4 tickets. God, that won't be hard to fill.
Don't forget, you can grab your tickets at afl.com.au. It's the huge game SCG at Carlton. Good luck, Broads. Go get them, brother.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good luck today at Fashion Week again, mate.
Oh, yeah.
You've got.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk dating, guys. If you are single at the moment, there's one phrase you need to stop saying, according to a dating expert, and that's the answer to the question, do you have a partner? Why not? And they're saying don't use the phrase, I just haven't met the right person yet.
Why?
They're saying because this avoids you recognising some of the patterns that you may have formed that you don't even realise you've created, and that's why you are single. Because you're not waiting, you're repeating, they go on to say.
So you said that there were 5 words. What are they?
I haven't met the right person yet.
That's it. Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought the 5
That's
words.
7 words.
I thought the 5 words that you don't want to hear are, "Will you fit inside this?"
No, because that's going to take some exploring.
Guys, mind out of the gutter. I'm talking
No, I know
about
what you
a
mean.
Box.
You know,
like a psycho.
Why?
When people ask me, are you seeing anybody? I go, oh, God, I could think of nothing worse, which I think is probably not the right
No,
answer.
that's not the right answer. And that's maybe why you're not giving off the right vibes, Swanee.
Yeah,
because you're not
maybe.
reading signals.
Yeah.
Like, you're not seeing moments. Like, if you find yourself, Swanee shared on the show not long ago, you found yourself in a stairwell with a guy who you thought was going to do a balloon trick.
Yes, I said, are you going to do a magic trick? Yeah.
He's going to make his tongue disappear into your mouth, Swanee. That's
yuck.
That's what he was thinking.
Was he?
So not only did you misread the eye contact you would have been receiving for most of the night, when he then said we should chat over here, you misread that as well.
Yeah.
And then it got to the final crunch, and you assumed that he was going to turn into a magician and pull out a poodle.
Watch me, go Houdini.
And then I assume you just wander off and continue on with the night.
So, how long did you go out with Cosentino for?
Do you know what?
It's so weird. He would only perform if there was like a big orchestra dancing.
It's really weird.
Music going on in the background.
Do you remember the book The Game that came out?
Yes.
Well, I remember the movie with Michael Douglas.
Oh, was it a movie too?
No, they were different. That
Two different
Michael
things,
Douglas
was it?
film, by the way, is fantastic.
Unbelievable movie.
Unbelievable. I think about it all the time.
The game would talk about pickup techniques.
Yeah.
And different things you could do to get people's attention and why it works. And this guy spoke about classes that he would hold, mainly with guys, to try and get the attention of girls. He would say things like, there was a chapter on negging someone. Do you remember that, Swanee? Where you would say,
I do. I don't know why any man would take advice from another man.
No, like that.
It's so crackers.
But the other thing was, one of his techniques was magic. So he said, if you go to a bar and sit at the bar with a deck of cards and just start thumbing your way through them a bit, it won't be long till you get a girl sitting next to you.
Are you joking?
No.
No, can I'll back that up because I don't get into magicians at all. But I had a mate, Johnny Kingstrom, that could make a cigarette disappear in front of your eyes.
Oh, you're
Chrissy.
good at doing that one, Fitz, too.
And he taught me how to do it. A Swedish guy taught him how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So he would just hold up a cigarette, just simple, and he would go 1, 2, 3, and it was gone, Swanee, and then it would come back. And I saw him caught a lady by doing that, and she was so impressed that he ended up pashing her that night. It was an unbelievable thing that I saw.
Do you know what?
Wow.
Our friend Magic Mike, not a stripper, Magic Mike, his girlfriend, they met when he was sitting at the bar with a pack of cards.
Seriously?
Did he read that in the game?
No, I don't know if he did. But he was
Maybe
naturally...
I need to take back my thing about who would take advice from a man. I would never have thought that a card game would get you some action, but there you go.
I mean, if he buys you a drink and makes the ace of spades appear from behind your ear, you'd be going, wow, what else can this guy do?
Do you know who I saw a kid in a school uniform on the 442 the other day to Balmain, and he was doing these unbelievable. So he was training his hands with a deck of cards with.
Yeah.
And I asked him what he was doing. Because I'm thinking, does this kid want to be a croupier at the Star or something? Like, what is he doing? He said, no, I'm learning to be a magician, and I'm trying to, like, the way that he was just flicking these cards around, and he said, I do this every day on the way to school and on the way home from school on the bus, and he was just training himself.
Sorry, just to jump in, Fitz.
He had 8 ladies around him.
And then you tried to kiss him. Some magicians don't like to be called magicians. They're illusionists. You have to be very clear. Like, you can offend an illusionist by calling them a magician.
Oh, my God.
I'll tell you what, I'm no magician, but I can make any man disappear.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.